Hi guys, and welcome back to Reed's Readers with your host, Clinton Reed. And today I'm going to share with you my November TBR. And I've got some ambitious plans for November. I have 12 books over here. Well, 11 of them. One of them still has not came in the mail yet. It was supposed to be here today, but it hasn't arrived. Bonds and Nobles, we gonna fight. Whatever. Telling me you're gonna be here on November 1st and not actually be here. But I digress. I know I'm not gonna get to all of these. The last two down here are the ones that I'm like, eh. One that I'm like, I really want to read, and the other one I'm supposed to buddy read with a friend, but she may or may not be able to get to it this month, so we may push it to December. But we'll get to that in a minute. And I'm doing, oddly enough, Miss Sassy Cassie announced her Femme Fatale month-long readathon to read books based with strong female characters or strong female authors. And I was looking at my TBR over here, and they're all strong female characters. Only one of them is like got a male main character, and but his best friend is like one of the strongest female characters in literature, but we'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, I think one might be based on the guy's point of view, but we'll get to that one in a minute too. But so inadvertently, I'm going to be doing the hashtag Femme Fatale readathon. And I didn't even know I was going to be doing it. And I told myself I wouldn't do any readathons this month. Okay, for the rest of the year, for November and December, and possibly January, I'm going to use this time as a catch-up to read books that I pre-ordered, books that are sequels to books that I've loved. I want to read books that I've been putting off because of readathons, because of umpteen million other things. So, one of these books on this list was on my last month's TBR, and it's one of the ones that I didn't get to that I really, 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 really wanted to. Bought it the day it came out. But let's get into it, and I will explain everything. First off, I'm going to be reading, one of my first priorities of the month is to read these three books, which I am hosting the Women's Murder Club read-along. And this month we're supposed to read First to Die by James Patterson, Second Chance by James Patterson with Andrew Gross, and Third Degree by James Patterson and Andrew Gross. This series follows a group of females who all each come from different points of views, like you have the FBI agent. Whoa, not FBI. The San Francisco police detective. Wow, what the hell did I think? FBI. You've got the medical examiner, you've got the DEA, and you've got the news reporter. And how the four of these amazingly strong females come together to solve serial murder cases. And it's one of my all-time favorite series, so I thought we do a little read along, and I have already explained that. I will link excuse me, the announcement for that down below if you haven't seen it. But November we're supposed to read the first three books, so those are some of my first priorities. These next two books are also priorities because Melanie at Completely Melanie is hosting the Harry Potter read-along where you read one book a month. Well, I've already read the first and second one earlier this year, so I wanted to wait till November to join in with Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And with my depression and everything that I've been going through lately, I feel like I need to dive into my favorite book series, one of my all-time favorite book series, and my favorite book from that series. And I thought, why not join in? I may read this edition, or I may read the illustrated edition. My only thing is, the illustrated edition is a little buried, so it may or may not get read. Um, so I just recently replaced like my paperbacks earlier this year with hardbacks. That's why this one looks like it's never been read. My paperback was like worn out to the point where like the cover was falling off and everything. Ooh, I've never even looked at the underside of it. It's so pretty. But yeah, so I told her I would join along, and you may see me pop in with the live show depending on what day it falls. So there's that. And then one of my coworkers, and becoming one of my closest friends now, at work, Vanessa's birthday is November 6th. She asked me to read a book. That's what she wanted for her birthday, so that we can discuss it, so we can prepare for the third one. And this is one that I pre-ordered in enough time to get the signed book plate to put on the book, and I still haven't picked it up because I'm so nervous, because I love the first one in the series so much. I'm afraid it's just not gonna hold up. But according to her, it's flipping phenomenal. So I'm going to be picking up Legendary by Stephanie Garber, Garble, Garber, if I can speak today. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I literally just woke up not that long ago. Which is the sequel to Caraval, which is one of my favorite books of the year. It like took me on a journey of self-discovery. But yeah, I pre-ordered this in enough time to get the book plate, the signed book plate, so I can have a signed book by her, because I live in Oklahoma. Not a lot of these authors come to Oklahoma. But the first book followed Scarlet and her adventures. This one's supposed to follow her sister, Donatella, and her adventures through. But yeah, so I told her I would read that for her birthday. Cheapest birthday gift I've ever done. But that's all she wanted. Slide that over. Okay, my next priority for this month, which might actually be the first book I pick up this month, because I started this back in August when it came out. Either. No, not August, September when it came out. Was it September? Honestly, I don't remember. I pre-ordered this and I've been dying to get to it, so it was either August or September. But I started it and I'm like 56 pages into it, and this is a sequel to one of my favorite series from that I started last year, and I've been like loving it, and that is Two Dark Reigns, the third book to the Three Dark Crowns series. But I've just heard amazing things about this one. I can't wait to get to it, seeing as we're getting the fourth and final book in the series next year, and I just don't know if I'm ready. I've also heard that this will shatter me. Like, shatter me. So, yep. And the next book on our series of books that I'm wanting to get to, because I've read the first two back in July, August time, around book two, book one. These were like the books that I actually accomplished for book two, at least one of them. The third book in the Study in Charlotte series, The Case for Jamie by Brittany Cavallaro, which basically are retellings of Sherlock Holmes, the series, but seen through their great grandchildren, Charlotte Holmes. and Jamie Watson. And we get the fourth one next year. And I've just been really wanting to read this, but I've had to push it back and push it back and push it back because of other books. And I really want to get to it. I have read this month a series in entirety. Well, the 3 books that are out in a series, the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, which has got me hyped to want to finish the Sherlock Holmes series and the next 3 books that I'm going to talk about. So it's kind of got me like in the vibe of I want to read these kind of mysteries with like retellings and stuff like that. We'll go ahead and mention the one that isn't present yet, but it is the companion sequel to The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee, and that is A Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy, which is on its way. And I know Spencer, Books with Chloe, and a bunch of them are doing a read-along of that book this month, so I'm planning on diving in. I was already planning on diving into it this month anyways. I was waiting to film this until it got here, but obviously postage sucks. But I will have that book in my hands eventually, and it's a pretty purple cover, and I'm just all about that. And I can't wait to get into that. And the next 2 books are by the same author that I've been like really wanting to read her stuff because I just absolutely adore her. And I read one of the books in her like original series like back in high school. Don't really remember too much about it. So if I like these, then I might get that original series and like dive in more and see if I remember anything. But the first one I didn't get to in the month of October, which I would really love to read in November because it's still kind of got that spooky vibe about it. And that's The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein, which is a retelling of Frankenstein through the eyes of Elizabeth and all the things that she has to do for him and everything. And I'm just excited. Next is And I Darken by Kristen White. It's either Kirsten or Kirsten, whatever. White, which is a retelling of Vlad the Impaler, aka Prince Dracula. Which I read Hunting Prince Dracula, and that's just got me in the mood to want more from that kind of world building and stuff like that. Like, I know I'm going to be getting Dracula soon, because I've never read that either. But I think I've attempted to read it like once before, but yeah. This is the pretty like UK cover, which has this girl on it. All 3 of them have this gorgeous female, which I think is supposed to be, what is her name? Not Radu, but other. Lada's story. But Lada had a sense for power, a princess unlike any you've known before. Ruthless is the key to her survival. The fine threads that connected everyone around her. Her brother Radu is everything she is not, beautiful, introspective, and delicate. The way those threads could be pulled, tightened, wrapped around someone until they cut off their blood supply, or snapped entirely. At first, Lada takes Mehmed Mehmed for an enemy. He is, after all, son of the Sultan holding her captive. Their 3 lives balance on a knife's edge, and the ties that bind them together will be stretched to the breaking points, which is one that I really, really, really want to get to. And if I like this, then I'll probably pick up the next one next month, and then January the last one. That way I don't overwhelm myself. because these are kind of hefty. This one is 475 pages. It looks kind of hefty, but especially with all the books that I gotta read this month. And the next two books are ones that I would love to get to this month, but unsure if I'll actually have the time. If I don't, then I'll just push them to next month. The first one is one of my most anticipated books of the year because I love this author to pieces, and that is Consumed by J.R. Ward. Yes, the same J.R. Ward that brought us the Black Dagger Brotherhood of sexy ass vampires. But she brings us a brotherhood of a different sort. Firefighters. And an arson investigator. All I gotta say is I like to go into my romances kind of blind. And this one is by an author I already know and love. And one of my go-tos when it comes to romance are firefighters. Don't ask me why, they're a guilty pleasure. One of my favorite romance novels of all times is Blue Smoke by Nora Roberts, which involves some sexy ass firemen. But can we also talk about the flames on this cover and how beautifully they wrap? This is just gorgeous. And then the last one is one that, if said person is able to buddy read it this month, we will buddy read it. If not, we'll probably push it to December, which more than likely will happen because both of us are excited about it, but we've got so many books that we need to get to first. But that is Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. I'll just read this little bit in the back. So if you haven't seen my Owl Crate unboxing, you should totally check it out because this cover is to die for. It is a fox shapeshifter sworn to hide a mysterious scroll, a secret assassin under orders to kill to obtain it. Hunted by demons, gods, and shadows, their wary bond may break them or alter the course of the world. Just sounds so good. And I'm like, the bookmark that came with it. Absolute power can corrupt even the purest of hearts. It's just, I can't wait. And more than likely we can't get to it this month, but just know I'm excited no matter what. And ow, I just stabbed myself. Book edges are sharp. But yes, those are all the 12 books I would like to get to this month. I'm only foreseeing at least 10 of them. That's my goal. I'm going to be trying something a little bit different this month. But no, I do have some things coming up this month that may hinder some of this. So, like, there's a few on here that may not get read. But either way, I'm excited about them. Comment down below and let me know what you guys are reading this month. And if you've read any books on my list, tell me which ones I should get to first. Which ones do you guys think should be a high priority for this month? I guess I will catch you guys on the flip side. Remember, kids, reading is a what's fundamental. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.